that was awesome. That was fun. Thanks for letting me do this.
Good.
Very unique experience for me.
Well,
was I terrible? Was I okay?
I felt like you did well.
Okay. Thank you.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm so hungry.
I know the brain fog from like, give me some burgers, please.
Welcome to the Front Porch with Brian Beaudry.
So I'd like to welcome today's guest, Senior Sales Development Representative at Record360, Tucker Estes.
Thank you.
Tucker, welcome to the Front Porch.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Let's start with the basics. Who are you? Where are you from? And what's the weirdest food combo that you're into?
Well, my name's Tucker Estes. Again, Senior SDR with Record360, now Point of Rental. Home for most of my life was Indiana, Central Indy, just west of Indianapolis. And in July, I washed up on the shores of Mississippi, and I love it down there. So that's home now. And my favorite food combo, which is weird, is anything tomato-based, I love peanut butter with. So chili with a peanut butter sandwich, spaghetti with a slice of peanut butter bread, or like one of those little Jif to-go cups.
Okay.
That is my go-to.
That is definitely a weird one.
So
that maybe I need to ask more people this question because,
My uncle takes it further. He has a peanut butter sandwich with chili, and he puts a slice of onion in the middle of the sandwich. It is awful. But I get it.
It would have been great without the onion.
Exactly. Just make a sandwich, man.
Okay. All right. This is going to be an awkward transition, but okay. What did you want to be when you were a kid? Whenever you remember having your first answer for like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Baseball. I wanted to play in the MLB.
Okay. What kind of baseball player were you going to be?
Well, I always wanted to be an outfielder, center field, just kind of controlling it. But then when I was in 8th grader, if I wanted to play varsity, I could be a catcher. So I started catching, and I did fall in love with it. So I always wanted to go into catching.
Wow, you actually were happy to be a catcher because it seems like real bad for the knees. It never seemed like a fun one for me.
It was rough on the knees. I still pay for it today, but I had it was the Saturday doubleheaders in the middle of the summer that would kill. But other than that, that would have been my go-to. Plus, you don't have to be too tall. I'm only 5'10", so I could have actually made it into the MLB if I was good enough.
Okay, so at what point did you stop saying like, all right, I'm probably not going to make it to the majors. I should probably look at some other avenues.
It's that point in high school where you get your maybe for a serious girlfriend or something, you realize like there's some other avenues. Maybe I need a part-time job right now, going out, hanging with friends, and that's kind of the transition of that's going to take a lot of very focused physical education that I think I'm more kind of normal life oriented.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're like, I'm not going to have this kind of focus that I see.
A job's okay with me. Yeah. I'm happy. Yep.
Okay. Did you have any moments like when you are playing and you're in high school, did you ever go up against any like future pros or future things where you're like, oh no, that's definitely not a level that I'm capable of?
100%. Yeah. Like D1 athletes pitching like 95 mile an hour. Yeah. No shot. I knew like, I realized like sophomore year, I'm like, oh no, this physically is not for me. And then maybe my interest changed because of that too.
Okay. Yeah, there's a podcast I listen to where it's like, just tell us the moment when you realized like this sport isn't the right thing for you. All right. So according to your LinkedIn, there was a time when you were a student at IUPUI. Mm-hmm. You were an operations advisor for the town of Amo.
Yep.
And you thought, you know what, I should also slang meals at Texas Roadhouse. So operations advisor sounds like a really like fancy high up title. Mm-hmm. What does the operations advisor for Amo do?
Very small town, so very small responsibilities. Just we never had any, except I guess me and my dad, dedicated like guys for the town, mowing, maintenance on the town buildings, renovating things, fixing things at the community building, things like that. Pretty much we were the town's handyman, and it was a great high school gig, leading into college gig.
Yeah.
But yeah, small town. I think 400 people.
Interesting. Yeah. I Googled it and I was like, oh, this is about the size of my senior class, and I didn't grow up in a big town.
No, there's one staple which is Amo Pizza, and my parents started it back. They actually had it when my sister was born. She's 6 years older than me, and then got rid of it whenever I was born. But that's like the one reason to go to Amo is get some pizza, get out of Dodge. Yep.
Oh, I was picturing that as being the reason that you got into your weird tomato and peanut butter thing. But if they,
I could see it. I mean, my dad was just like the 2 a.m. just eating spoonfuls, just daisy, and that's where I think I got it.
All right. Well, I mean, peanut butter is really good on its own. I'm still not sold on this with tomato products, but
it's gonna blow your mind once.
All right. Well, we'll try it. So you are the entire like maintenance crew for an entire town?
Yeah, but a town too small to even have a stoplight, not even a blinking one. We had a
Okay.
4-way stop sign. All of our roads were Amo Clayton Road or the road to Danville. I still don't know what it's called to this day, and I spent my whole life there.
Oh, I was hoping it was just called
The road to Danville, the Golden Road. Yeah. No, but yeah, very small. So, I mean, we knew everybody. They just stop by our house and come inside. Just walk in your door and be like, hey, there's might be a small leak over at the bathroom in the building. Then we just run over there and check.
And that's something that you just got into with your dad because he
My
was
dad's
kind of the original operations advisor. Or...
Yeah. And then there were a couple of times where he'd have me take over. He's like, can you mow for me? A couple of times. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like a freshman, sophomore in high school. And then I just kind of ended up just following in, helping him out.
Seems like a good way to build responsibility.
It was fun.
Like at what sounds to be a much more advanced level than just like, hey, mow some stuff around the house. It's like, all right, go take care of some business around town as well.
It was fun. I learned a lot of like handy skills, and I don't know. I'm one of those proponents of I think like manual labor is good. I think it's just good for you, and then it's good character building, all that. Yeah.
Yeah. I can get with that. I still like mowing my own lawn. It's like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to pay someone else to do this. I want to go out there for a couple hours and feel like I did something.
It's prideful for me.
Yeah.
I like it. I get 100% if people hire people. That makes complete sense, but I like to do it.
Yep. Okay, but you still did feel the need to go get this Texas Roadhouse job. So why?
Service industry, especially restaurants, is a sticky place. It's hard to get out of. So one of my first gigs, I actually was a high school girlfriend. She started working at a Logan's Roadhouse near us. So I was a host there. And then just naturally going to college, you have to be 19 in Indiana to serve. I think it's pretty common throughout the states.
Yeah.
So hit 19, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get a serving gig, make quick cash, and then just kind of stuck with it. It was a good side job. They were really nice to me, letting me work part-time around my work or school schedule. So
yeah. And it definitely feels like, I know I used to work in like fast food, and it's one of those things where I'm thankful that I got fired because it's like, honestly, I probably would have, like, I can kind of go along with whatever. And it's like, I might have stayed there for who knows how many years. And it's like,
yeah, I didn't plan on working.
Why did I do that?
Exactly. It was like at least 3 years. I think it was at Texas Roadhouse, just slinging steaks.
And then you stop, and at some point you're doing some Penske truck leasing.
Yeah. So of all things, I actually met my now wife at Texas Roadhouse as a server, and she got hired on too. She went to IUPUI as well.
Okay.
But
you met her through the job though.
Yeah.
Not through IUPUI. So you were just like, I got the thing that I needed out of this job. All right.
Exactly. And then it was literally like I met her in February. I think I quit in March. Nice. It was immediate because she also kind of kicked my butt to go to a career fair. And Penske, Indy is a pretty big market for Penske. Yeah. And so they attended the career fair, met up with them, and he gave me an interview on the spot, which was fun. They have a really nice management trainee program. And so I went through that, ended up getting, I guess that's how I synced up with them originally. So it was kind of my first like post-college career, but I was able to start a couple months early.
Yeah. So what was cool about working at Penske?
It was just a very methodical place. I mean, such a big company, things are very ironed out, which is fun, very polar opposite to Record360 being smaller, more adaptive. But that, and it was, again, I love hands-on. Manual labor was fun, which now I'm remote, which is unique. But I got to learn business practices, put what I've learned into play, and still drive big trucks around. Get the fun of like seeing a tandem axle day cab and being like, I can sell that. I can get that on the road with somebody. So I liked having the physical aspect along with learning my business practices.
So you say you like driving Penske's. Interesting. Interesting. Because until this last year, Andrew and I drove our booth to the ARA show in a Penske.
Oh, really?
That we'd rented from around here. We decided this past year, it's like, no, we're not doing this anymore.
When we moved, it was a 12-hour drive, and we did it in July, midsummer heat.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a 26-foot pulling a car. It was horrible, but we did it.
Yeah. At least with moving, it's like, all right, we're staying now.
Exactly. We have an end goal. We don't have to make the drive back.
Yeah. Nice. So how did you get to Record360? Is that something that you guys were using at Penske, or is that something that, how do you switch from, working at Penske to this remote type functionality job? Yeah,
I loved my time at Penske. I learned a ton, but there was a natural time where I, just felt like it's my time to look. So very softly just started looking in the market. I thought, advantages of working from home, obviously, and there's a lot of perks. Spend more time at home, getting more things done. No Don't have to bring my dog to my parents' house or anything. Easy things. But
Yeah.
I was like, let's see if I'm going to go into it softly. So I found one job posting on just LinkedIn, really interesting. And I did like a reverse search. It was a Salesforce post, but through not Salesforce. So I assumed there was maybe a recruiter helping them or a company. So I talked to her, and it was indeed a Salesforce post. But then she also said, hey, 10,000 person plus company or 30. And grew up in AMO, 400 people. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm interested. Let me talk to them. And then, yes, directly from, I was a rental sales rep at Penske, and I wouldn't be able to rent things if it's damaged. You couldn't rent it if it had a check engine light. Obviously, it's just in case. So knowing that it was a company around resolving damage disputes, helping people, I could have used it in my day-to-day. And I'm like, that is so interesting. And then long interview process and got hired on with the team.
Awesome. So basically through LinkedIn, you just like connected and found the right spot, and you decided, yeah, this kind of fits with what I'm into.
The cards fell into place way better than I could have planned. Yeah. A recruiter that had a beautiful opportunity, and everybody on the team's just been so nice. That's what sold me so quickly. The interview process also involved a lot of the team members that I work with every single day now. So that was fun.
So they had a good a round of vibe check, I guess, for the whole thing.
Well, when you have 30 people, I feel like the fit is good. Obviously, talent is shining through above all, but you work with each other very, very close.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's we'll say jerks policy.
Exactly. Just be nice. Make it easy.
Okay, so we've had SDRs, sales development representatives, at Point of Rental for a while, but I've never heard of a senior SDR before. So what makes you a senior SDR?
Well, I have like 20, 30 grays right now hidden under my hat. No, well, it's actually unique. So being a small company, we had AEs only, and we used to have junior and senior account executives.
Okay.
And then just beginning of this year, actually, well, we started by midway through last year, one of our AEs, Diana, was given the opportunity to transition and start up our SDR program. Mm-hmm. So she was brought on board because of the transition as a senior SDR. Obviously, we're used to the outbound as AEs in general. So she kicked off the program. And then looking back, they wanted to focus up our sales efforts a little bit better. And so junior versus senior AEs, we wanted to be more targeted. So we just blended it with enterprise or regular account executives. I believe they still have their senior title. But then I was given the opportunity if I wanted to transition to the SDR side as a senior too. So I believe that's where it stems from, is being an AE prior and then moving to help kind of bolster the new program.
Okay. I was kind of into the idea that, it was like once you get a certain number of gray hairs.
Exactly.
Then you will officially give you.
We're sending update pics every single day. Yeah.
I need that promotion. Come on. It's like, no, you're dying it the wrong way.
The promotion is when you start losing them. Like, okay. You only get the title change on the grays.
Now you're ready.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your favorite part about being a senior SDR?
I think my favorite part, to be honest, is the ability to help build a new program with Diana. Us doing it in tandem. Rob, our VP of sales, gives us a long leash to try new methodologies, new strategies, and kind of make it our baby. So that's been my favorite part so far, is just being able to show some creativity. I'm not the most creative person. I don't have any sort of expression in art or anything. So being able to put my touch of creativity into it, that's so fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, everyone has kind of a different sort of creativity. It's like maybe that's your art form.
Exactly. I could see that. And it's fun to do.
Yeah.
I have it's a really good time doing it.
Cool. All right, before we get into your non-professional life, I want to play a game with you. We'll call it Est-yes or Est-no.
Okay.
If you agree with the statement or it's true, say Est-yes. If you would disagree with it, say Est-no. And then I'm going to need a reason for your response for each one of these.
Okay.
So Est-yes or Est-no, you cry at movies.
Est-yes. Yeah, movies are like my hardest point as like a grown man, because we still, society says you can't cry too much, but you show emotion a little. Movies kill me though.
Is there a particular genre of movie?
Let me think. I really like the ones that'll just get like waterworks going, is any sort of like military or tough moment when the like main strong character like gets some adversity. It's really maybe they lost their wife or something. That's when it's just like, man, I could see that. If it can hit home, or like a dog, and envisioning my own dog, kills me.
Yeah, I was gonna say for me it's the ones where it's like the the tough person like lets that humanity like shine through at the end. It's
yeah.
Actually they did like really care and love this person the whole time. And it's like, oh man.
It's like Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec.
Exactly.
When you like get soft, I'm like, yes, do it.
Yeah. All right. Est-yes or Est-no, you've cheated at a board game.
I'm going to say an honest Est-yes.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, you do some things you regret. Nowadays, I'm so into board games, though, that I am never cheating. I keep it well above board. No pun.
Are you the stickler for it? And you catch someone else, and you're like, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah. And like if everybody has their rendition of Monopoly or these rules. I'm like, we are establishing this prior to the game.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to know what we're doing. And no cheating. Yeah.
You're like, all right, we're going to write down these house rule versions, and
exactly.
I'm going to need you to check
laminated
yes or no on
cards
this.
I'm giving to everybody. Yeah.
All right. I like the idea of you at your house. You're just like, no, we have our house rules printed out, and we will be following these.
Everything else is a disaster, but this board game is going to be crazy. Yeah.
I put all my focus into this. All right.
Exactly.
All right. Est-yes or Est-no, you've told an outrageous lie to a child.
Est-no, surprisingly. I was the youngest in my family and never really raised around kids, so I didn't get a lot of the like, no build up to it or no younger siblings, younger cousins. So for me, I'm just like very brutally honest with kids. I got a 2-year-old nephew, and if I'm talking to somebody, I'll just look down and be like, no, and just go back to talking because we're best buddies.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think I do.
Okay. Well, come back when you have some more good lies to tell kids.
I swear, yeah.
Est-yes or Est-no, your favorite fast food fries are from McDonald's.
Est-yes. Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
I feel like I don't need an explanation if you're just like, yes. That's.
Oh, they're killer.
All
I
right.
dream about them a little bit.
Est-yes or Est-no, you have an embarrassing nickname or a nickname that you just hate.
Est-yes softly. Being the name Tucker, you get Tuck. It's just kind of a one-on-one, but I get Tuck often, and I'm not one to ever correct people. Like, call me whatever. I'm open.
Yeah.
That one just, it's always hit the ear wrong.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's like,
it's a really cute nickname, like a puppy nickname or something. But I'm like,
can you not?
It's a little, I don't know. It feels weird, but if somebody, I don't know, call me whatever, I'll still respond.
I don't know. I feel like you need to establish some boundaries there. You need to pretend that they're a 2-year-old and just
idiot.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Just let's get this easy, okay?
It's like, I'm going to respond to everything. Can you please not call me idiot as well?
What's the worst whenever your name rhymes with a very characteristically fun word to say?
Yeah.
And you hear that word and you're like, don't look. It wasn't you.
Probably not you.
Maybe. Both ways answer. Yeah, answer the same question at least.
All right, let's take a little break and we'll come back and get to know you a little more away from work.
Okay.
Quick, what's the tax on UV sunglasses in London? Don't know? We do. Business is changing. Fast. Every new way to produce, procure, and sell creates tax complexity. That's where Vertex comes in. We're right here at the corner of commerce and compliance, powering trusted transactions and confident decisions. Vertex's intelligent software jacked into the beating heart of global commerce, backed by powerful content and people who get tax and tech. I know what you're thinking. Nobody grows up saying, I'm going into tax compliance, except sometimes they do. And those people work at Vertex. You know who they work with? Over half the Fortune 500, that's who. So you keep making whatever these are. We'll keep building world-class tax tech. By the way, the tax on those shades, 12 British pounds. Vertex, tax technology at the speed of business.
All right, so I was looking at your LinkedIn. It looks like you lived your whole life in Indiana and moved to Gulfport, which you have confirmed. But you guys are a remote business with Record360, so like why, like you didn't have to move to Gulfport, so why'd you go down there?
So my wife was very honest. She said she never wanted to live in Florida. It's just a touch touristy. If you live inland, it's less touristy, but then why live in Florida? You want the beach.
It's like, no, the point is I wanted to be at the coast.
Exactly. See the coast. And we love the Gulf side too. Gulf of Mexico is gorgeous to us, our favorite like stretch of beach. So we just looked and we love Texas. We appreciate Texas, but Texas wasn't for us, just for living. And then you have New Orleans is basically all of Louisiana. So it's kind of narrow on the Gulf of where. And Mobile is big over there. And we thought, hey, okay, Mississippi's the only one we don't know about. So we took a vacation and my wife kicked it off by sending out job applications. She's a teacher, K through 5 physical education. So she ended up syncing up with one of the schools down there and they hired her on. And that kind of jump started all the move down there.
Okay. And then since you're like, I can move I can go anywhere.
For me, it was easy. I put in like 3 days PTO and got the move done.
Nice. So why did you want to be there besides, just being around the Gulf?
The biggest thing for me is my dad's 61, I believe. And my entire life, I'm 25. Yeah. I've heard him complaining about Indiana winters. Just hating. Like, we have fun, but Indiana, mid-central Indiana at least, it's the perfect spot for no snow, but all cold and gray and brown, and it's just terrible. And if it was winter wonderland, it'd probably been different. We love snowmobiling, ice fishing, but after 25 years of, God, these winters, we can't get over them, I was like, you know what, I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
So I learned from him, and then we were actually able to, we talked to my family, and my wife's family's up in Notre Dame area, South Bend, Indiana, and they still live there, but my family, they were convinced, and they moved down too. So my parents are down there now. My dad doesn't have to deal with cold winters anymore.
Nice.
Yeah.
So is this your first winter that you just spent?
Yeah.
Down in Gulfport?
We are, July is going to be our first year.
Nice. Mm-hmm. So you got to experience the good part, and now your parents will get to do the summer down there, which I don't know. I feel like
brutal,
not great.
Brutal. Yeah, it's bad.
It's like, that's why we have air conditioning.
Constant, like it runs 24/7. It's one of those where your house is like maxed at 74. It can't keep up.
Yeah, I went to my Air Force Tech School was in Gulfport, and they had our dorms. They had an outward facing door, so instead of a hallway or whatever, then it's like, no, you're facing outwards. And while they were just taking the trash out of the rooms, all the mirrors in the thing would just fog over because that's how humid and gross it was.
That's the worst of it. It's so thick breathing outside. It's like your lungs fill and you get shocked. It's like cold water, but the opposite.
Yeah, growing up on the West Coast, I did not believe that.
It's bad. You can chew your ear.
Oh, this is what you guys mean.
I know.
This is so bad.
It's rough. I was telling my dad, I'm like, just be prepped to take a morning and night shower every day during the summer because it's bad.
All right. Well, I mean, but you do get to avoid the winter, and winter is pretty unpleasant. So
we have a lemon tree that's already sprouting. It's already got some lemons growing on it. Perfect. That's my favorite part.
All right. So, but you're not putting lemons with your tomatoes and peanut butter, right?
Some juice on top, yeah. Maybe depending if it's like a.
Oh no.
No. That's actually why we planted it.
Am I giving you ideas? No.
My wife wants lemon juice on anything she eats, so that's why we planted a lemon tree.
Okay. I mean, it does make everything feel a little healthier.
Yeah,
if
little
you have it
cilantro, on pretending like I know what I'm doing on the salmon. Like, oh, I got the salmon from Walmart still, so I'm not fancy.
Yeah. All right. You said in our pre-interview that you've not visited much of the world or even the country at all. So has it gone anywhere beyond kind of that down the Mississippi type corridor? Because I realized the only other time we met was at the ARA show, and I was like, oh, you traveled to that? And then I realized, oh, it was in New Orleans.
I did drive.
So you were like right there.
I drove, I stayed there, but I'd say the most west I've been is I did go to Vegas, and I've gone to Denver. Okay. I've been able to explore both those a little bit, but it's kind of, you go to one destination. Yeah. Being able to take like a little bit of a road trip, especially if I can incorporate like a hybrid kind of half work, half not, working with my boss, that would be amazing. Because thankfully our team's pretty fluid with that. If I wanted to have a couple days on, a couple days off, and just maybe take a longer road trip. Because I really want to like see and be able to experience the vibe of different places. But long story short, yes, those two are probably the most west and most adventured I've been.
Okay. So future plan though, road trip type deal with the family. Probably summer's a great time because A, you avoid the summer down there. B, obviously that's a good time for the school year. Yeah, sounds like you got a good potential summer plan coming up.
Oh yeah, it'd be easy with that, and then going back to see family, seeing my in-laws, that'd be a good time. So incorporating that a little bit into it. I want to go to New York. Like, there's a lot of spots I want to get all the basic ones first, and then just start meandering.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing your adventures in the future.
Hoping to have some more experience. Yeah.
All right. Let's change things up a bit and get progressively further from work. When we were talking, you also said that you had diagnosed but manageable ADHD and OCD. So those are both things that I hear a lot of people say that they have when they don't necessarily have. First of all, how do you take it when people use those terms as a way of saying, like, I get distracted by things that are like obviously distracting?
Right. I think it'd take a lot for me to ever really get offended in this world. I just take things off the shoulder. I don't care.
When your name's Tucker.
Exactly. You got to get born and bred to be like, deal with some of it. So to me, I get it. It's just almost like a euphemism for how you're describing yourself.
Yeah.
It's all right with me.
Okay, good. Well, I don't really use either of those terms, but
It's such a simple way. Like if you're saying something like, "Oh, I'm so OCD, I do this, I have this trait," whatever.
Okay. And when you say that they're manageable, how do you manage them?
It's just a lot of mental work, to be honest. And then kind of doubling up is opposite of mental work, trying to remove yourself from it or get it out of your mind a little.
Yeah.
So just recognizing whenever I have maybe a symptom going, like if I'm trying to set a glass down for the 5th, 6th, 7th time to make sure it feels right, of just recognize what I'm doing, set it down.
It's probably okay.
So be a little mindful of it, but then also be mindless. Like don't just forget about it. Recognize it, move on. And ADHD is kind of a similar thing of where once I see myself going down a rabbit hole, just reel it in, like zone yourself back into what you're doing, then focus back up.
Yeah, I was going to say that seems like a challenge as a combo because it feels like, with the ADHD or whatever, it's like, all right, be more mindful and focused.
Yeah.
It's like, stop being so mindful and focused.
I know. And when you have the obsessive side into a ADHD symptom of like, okay, I'm going down this rabbit hole and I'm going to obsess over it. It's like the whole point of this is I'm researching company A to try to look into who I'm calling.
Yeah.
Now I understand like where the rental manager went to high school. Yeah. Like what am I doing? Why don't I go back, focus back up?
And now I know all the clubs that they have at their high school, and it's like, oh, it sounds really cool.
Nice. Yeah, it's like, what am I doing? I don't need to go that deep into this. So that's where I try to avoid, stop myself before, and yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Okay, so how does it? Is that the main way it impacts your daily life, or how does it impact like?
Yeah, the OCD has been around since middle school. I had an onset moment of it, and so that one I've had more experience with, but it's easier to because it's almost like a physical just tick of what I'm doing to then be still focused on what I'm doing. So even if I'm researched a company, maybe I'm in the middle of a conversation with somebody and I'm still tapping in a certain rhythm or sequence that I'm used to, or counting some sort of pattern I see. So
wait, now I'm wondering, do you have a specific go-to pattern?
Yeah, there's it's all just absurd. I have the numbers based where I like patterns 4, 5, 6s. I don't know why.
Okay.
But it's weird. You can tap your finger 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you do it 6, and then you repeat it.
Interesting.
And it's such a mindless thing, while you're sitting there calling somebody on the phone and you're just tapping it in the same rhythm.
Okay.
But little things like that I'm cool with. It's whenever I was getting hung up on trying to just leave a room and turn the switch on and off, and it's I just want to go out of the room.
Can I leave?
Yeah.
Okay. You also share a hobby with a lot of other people at Point of Rental. We'll call it optimizing the things that you own. Mm-hmm. From your house to your cars to your motorcycle and your boat. What's the project that you're proudest of having completed?
I would say the proudest one I have is me and my wife's starter home. Mm-hmm. We got it in I guess technically the end of 2020. It was our first house, and December 7th is when we got the keys, basically possession, and we moved in February. But it was a total whole home renovation.
Yeah.
New countertops. We had to pour concrete to level the floor because it was on a slab, but separate slabs.
Yeah.
So we had to marry everything up. It was basically an entire home. We didn't have to redo panel boxes and plumbing too much, but the majority of it was an entire facelift to the whole house. That's my biggest project I'm proud of.
So proud of it that you left it within a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, well.
It was so hard. It was because, it's your baby at that point. I wrote messages behind the fireplace wall I built. That was one of my favorite projects in the house. And Tucker was here, something stupid, but you get sad. But thankfully,
I was hoping it wasn't a Tucker was here. It's what are you doing? How dare you take away?
Don't dig 2 feet deeper. I did do one of those. Bodies are at this. I don't know, just for fun.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing that on the news at some point in the future when they find that.
Message found out to be a total sham. Points you to SeaWorld. I don't know.
What is something that people misunderstand about you?
I do commonly get, I'm often very positive, very happy personality, which is very true. I do like to try to half glass full type of guy, but obviously I still have my days, still have my moments, still get frustrated. My wife knows it. She would come on here and talk. That's the whole podcast is her talking about me. But I can be an a-hole just like I can be a best friend. And a lot of people sometimes I think I'm just always. I got the Mr. Rogers Award from our company this year, which was fun because I do like being that guy. But I can get mad, I can get frustrated, I can get annoyed just like everybody else, and it's almost unexpected when it happens, and I get that. But that's probably the most misunderstood I get is I can still get pissed once in a while.
Is it is it usually like a legitimate reason for?
Nope, just mindless crap. Yep, nothing.
Okay, is like because sometimes if you have that person who's like always positive, and it's like, oh, they're mad. It's like, oh, there's definitely a big problem.
There's some. No, mine is as simple as like we have a candle warmer, like a wax melter for candles, right by our paper towels, and it's
That
hung
doesn't
up.
seem like the best spot.
No, thankfully it's separated enough to be safe.
Okay.
But the cord plugs into some like under cabinet outlets we have mounted. And every time you try to get paper towels, it tries to suck the cord into the roll, and it just makes me rage so hard. I threw a roll out the window for no reason when it was raining. And then that's where I get my rage out, is tossing paper towels, I guess.
Okay, well, at least it's if you're gonna get hit by something that's thrown,
roll Brawny to the side of the head.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say it feels like that's a relatively safe one. Do you have any questions for me? I have asked a lot of you, but you can ask one.
I would also I only get one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You shouldn't overthink it.
What is your favorite aspect of this city?
Of this city? Well, right now we're in Fort Worth.
Or Fort Worth, yes.
I do not live in Fort Worth, but I do like the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The size of it is really nice in that I live like in a small town that's within the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Okay.
So it's like I kind of have like a small townish vibe, but also there's freaking everything here.
Big city amenities.
Yeah, and being in the center of the country, like how I actually do like fast food and terrible food for me.
Mhm.
So like all of the chains that are pretty much every regional chain is also in Dallas.
Yeah.
So it's like,
You get Whataburger, you get In and Out.
yeah, and it's
Mhm.
like y'all can pretend like this regional area is way better than another one, but it's like we've tried all of them. Like we know it. Like none of them are that much different.
No, really not.
They're all good.
Yeah. Have you tried Culver's?
I have. I did have to go to Illinois to try that one.
Okay.
But there is apparently a Culver's around here.
Really?
It's just not close to my house. And it's like, there's another thing where like I went to Shake Shack in Vegas, even though there is one nearish here. It's like, it's so much easier to go once I'm actually in Vegas than it is to drive all the way across the Metroplex.
I can understand. That's how we were with In and Out. On one of our work trips, it's like take a 10-minute Uber to get In and Out because you can't DoorDash it.
Yeah.
Or just wait until Vegas. So I'm just going to wait until Vegas again.
Well, we're going to have it today.
I'm so pumped.
It would have been nicer if they had showed up, before this was going to start.
It's okay.
It's okay. We'll survive. Before we get into the 5 important questions, I need you to give me a top 5 list.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have a section called Give Me 5.
Okay.
What is your top 5 list going to be about?
Top 5 list
of anything. You can choose the topic. I would suggest your top 5 hobbies because you had said that you had a ton of them, and I didn't want to go individually down every single one. So let's just talk about your top 5.
Okay. I can do top 5 hobbies. I like that.
All right. Let's start with your number 5. What is your number 5 top hobby?
I would say top 5 hobby, which is a big change now, is the electronics and gaming scene.
Okay.
Huge hobby of mine. Love it. It's phasing out more as I do get older. Just more responsibilities. Interests just kind of change. So I believe that'd probably be my 5th spot right now.
So when you're saying electronics and gaming, what are you exactly meaning?
I built my own computer. I love the physical aspect of electronics. I'm terrible at anything software related.
Okay.
But that, and then actually just spending time gaming, PC gaming, playing on my Xbox. Me and my wife are Minecraft addicts.
Okay.
So just things like that, spending some time. It doesn't get as much time as it should, but it's fun still.
All right. Well, that's good. So that made number 5 on the list. What's number 4?
I would say this one's going to be kind of a cop-out, but being physically active in some form or fashion is my biggest thing. I can't sit down at the end of a work day, whether it's working on projects, going out and about in the world, whatever I'm doing, going to the gym, getting time in after work, feel sunshine on you. Big. I know it's not really a hobby, but kind of a hobby. Stay moving.
Okay. Is there a particular favorite way to stay moving?
Any sort of outside project I can do. So mowing, I love landscaping work. That's what I did a ton for AMO. So just flower beds, planting trees, trimming, edging, walking my dog for the kind of leisure things, beach walks, things like that.
I was going to say, yeah, you sound more productive than necessarily leisure / just for the exercise.
Yeah. I love the productivity side. I don't know why. It's just, I got the bug from my mom. I just always do something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I like that though. Number 3. What's your 3rd?
I would say number 3 would be tying together motorcycle and boating. So like recreational vehicles of some sort.
Okay, it's like you're riding a motorcycle on a boat. This seems very unsafe.
The harder one is riding a boat on a motorcycle. That one's terrible. But other than that, yeah.
Had a few accidents, but
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I just got my bike back up and running. It had some fits during the move, and I didn't have time for it yet. But that, and then, yeah, boating, there's a great bay by us, so we're excited to use this year. Just big, again, going with the outdoor theme.
Okay. When you are on a motorcycle, are you like one of those like stunt drivers, or are you more of a like take a nice long ride?
I'd smell the roses. Literally going like driving in fields, smelling natural air. That's my go-to.
Okay.
Take a chill, find a road where nobody's on it.
All right. And then boating, are you going out and going fishing, or are you just, enjoying the boat?
Fishing normally for me is more bank and docks. So for boating, play. That's like kind of the opposite. It's all out on the boat. Lake days, tubing, skiing, all that kind of stuff.
All right. I mean, that's the way I would go. I'm not a big fisher, so.
I want to go home exhausted. That's it. Mm-hmm.
All right. Number two.
I know number one, deciding kind of between number two. Number one's going to be a little more specific of this. So I'd say number two is just biggest hobby is housework, projects, anything like that. Anything like, right now I know whenever I get home, my bedroom door's been sticking. So WD-40, making sure I get a screw in a little bit better. I think the screws are just slipping. Things like that are super fun.
It's alarming that you're thinking about that while you're on it.
I know. I'm preparing. Whenever I get home, I'm going to do that. I have to cut out we got a new patio tile I got to cut. Yeah. Anything like that, it's just my go-to. I have sticky notes all through my house, just doing this, do this, do this.
This is your decorating style.
It's like one of those like ex-FBI guys with the strings pulled, mow, trim, edge. Like they all go together.
I like that. All right. So I'm interested in seeing this more specific version. So number one overall hobby is what?
Woodworking through and through. So it goes very hand in hand with a lot of our projects. We just did wainscoting in our bedroom. We just built a back porch patio kind of lounge couch.
Nice.
Anything wood related, I just love. I don't know why. I got the itch from my dad.
So you have like a full shop?
With us just moving, I'm planning my new one out.
Yeah.
I did kind of at the old house, but I actually have a barn that's set up with a like side separate office, so to speak, kind of like an old school auto shop.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my new just zone, my hub.
All right. Well, now I want to like live near you in Gulfport, because it's like one of those things where it's like I'm semi-interested in woodworking. Whatever I have no space for it. I have no like ability to set anything up. So it's like, well, I'm not actually going to do anything.
That's the whole why of Mississippi too, is like space for very affordable prices. Like having an acre for what a postage stamp was in Indiana is a very great trade-off.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your list of your top 5 hobbies. And let's get to the next one, which I meant to move up a page, but we're going to make you start a rental store within a month. What would you rental? That means you can't really do a whole bunch of research. You can't come up with like this whole big, huge plan. You have a month to not only get the stuff to rent, but you're gonna have a grand opening in a month.
Grand opening, rental store in a month.
Yeah.
I think one thing I would do, total random thought, is what if you would have a simple way, because there's a lot of people with very specific hobbies. They have specific cameras, tools, whatever it may be for what they do, being able to rent that individually. So like if you're going to have a little bit of an influencer style vacation, being able to rent like a crazy DSLR or something, or if you have like a home project you're doing, be able to rent like a planer, like a DeWalt planer. I don't have a planer, something like that. Very simple, person to person. You're just kind of an intermediary, safeguard. That's probably what I do.
All right. Sounds interesting.
It'd be fun.
All right. Well, if you decide to do this, I'll take 50. I'll take half.
Okay. I'll bring you in on it. I'm excited.
Perfect. All right. Let's get into the 5 important questions after this break.
Okay.
5 important questions.
5 important questions?
5 important questions.
All right. We're on to the 5 important questions. Let's start with number 1. What would you say is your greatest success in life?
Greatest success in life is probably being the luckiest man to marry my wife. Being able to meet her and just build a great family with her has been number one.
Yes. So it all started at Texas Roadhouse.
It all started with those cinnamon butter and rolls. Yep.
I mean, can't go wrong with with cinnamon butter rolls.
And I think the highlight is you all wear the same uniform, so we judge each other based on personality, character.
Yeah.
We all look the same.
That's true. What is your greatest fear?
My wife? No, I'm kidding. Greatest fear.
I mean, sometimes our greatest successes are combined with our greatest fears.
Exactly. No, I would say, I mean, cliche and it sounds sad, but being lonely. I'm such a people person. I don't do well in kind of alone times. My wife's had to leave for a week trip here and there, and sucks. I'm terrible at it.
So you are the person that's like, no, you need to call in like daily.
Mm-hmm. Apple's new check-in feature, love it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you could tell a first day at Record360 Tucker one piece of advice, what would you tell him?
Oh, biggest one would be just don't stress. Just put in the time and be happy with failing, and learn from your failures. That's the biggest thing. Just don't worry about it. Make some mistakes. Have fun.
Did you have a ton of stress like when you started? And
Just that's how I am by nature. Just I can tell myself over and over it's a job. I know what I'm doing, but I can also think myself out of it. So just reminding myself that you're gonna mess up a lot. You're gonna learn from it. It'll get better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like your VP of sales, if they're giving you a long leash over whatever, it feels like you have that like permission to go ahead and fail.
I feel like I am at that point now. Like if I bring up a project I want to try and I literally give him results that were terrible, he would be okay with it because I try something creative, something new. One of them might land,
Yeah. And it's as long as I think you have like a reason behind trying it.
A why.
Instead of, like,
yeah.
I just want to fucking do something.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just, I'm bored. All right, we'll send it. Yeah, if I'm structured with it, he's super happy with us trying new things. And yeah, you might fail. Okay, cool. Move on.
What if we just try giving everyone gold bars and then
exactly rent gold for music videos,
and then I'll just keep half. This doesn't seem like a good plan. Let's see. What's your most embarrassing moment as a recorder? Sorry, I was told that you guys aren't actually called recorders, but I've decided it's
like the name thing. I'll answer to whatever. Like that makes so much sense now.
Yeah.
Most embarrassing moment. Thankfully, I don't have a giant one that's jumping out of me.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a compilation of all the times you have that random piece of pepper in your teeth after the demo and you're like, okay, that's embarrassing. I should have been embarrassed for like an hour straight right now and I wasn't. So I'm feeling it all. That's the biggest one.
It's more of a like, I hope that still went well. And I hope that that's not what they were focused on.
I hope all they didn't think the whole time is he needed to go blow his nose. you know, like those are the embarrassing fun ones, I'd say.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's now a horrible crime to have pepper or something in your teeth when you're doing a demo, and it's now punishable by death. So Thank you for confessing, but now we have to kill you. So what is your last meal? You get to choose a meal.
Last meal it's going to be fried chicken of some, like just straight fried chicken, coleslaw, rolls, mashed potato, like Southern hospitality food. Easy.
Okay. And are you going to have is there a like particular place that you need to get this from, or is it just like, just give me the good stuff?
Any like small shack type, maybe in a gas station kitchen that just really serves up some good food, or like one of the, we have tons of like Mama Soul Food shacks by us, anything like that. Yeah. Load me up. I'm happy.
Okay.
Especially mac and cheese.
Oh yeah. That's good. That's a good call. Any beverages or desserts with this?
I'd say just like a cool Mick Ultra, just something to send me off with, and banana pudding through and through.
Okay. You're a banana pudding guy.
Yeah.
All right. I'll have you talk to Roberto, who has come on our podcast before, and he was talking about how he loves banana pudding, and he's always searching for the greatest banana pudding.
I actually just
like some ratings.
I just talked to my brother-in-law about that. I'm like, everywhere we go to in Mississippi has amazing banana pudding. I'm going to start a chart.
Yeah.
Like Dave Portnoy's pizza scale. I'm going to do my own.
All right, perfect. Well, then we'll connect you two, and you guys can maybe combine and have like a expanded geographical feature.
That'd be
like
amazing. I'll know all of the Dallas market.
The network of a nationwide network of banana pudding ratings.
There's been worse inventions in this world.
That's fair. I mean, what are we using the internet for, really?
Exactly.
If
pudding trackers, come on now.
If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
Probably the overthinking warrior mindset. I'm okay with it. I'm used to it. But if I could change it, I would love for it to be gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can get that. If you could change one thing at Point of Rental or Record360, what would it be?
I would love the ability for all of us to somehow beautifully still be remote and have the capability to come in person once, twice a week. See your buddies, collaborate on some ideas. That'd be the biggest change, and it's something that's physically impossible. But if anything evolved to that point, that would be fun to see.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that sentiment from several people. What is your biggest pet peeve? I changed this one. It used to be a different question.
Okay. I like this one though, because
Yeah.
mine's more the subtle nuances of chewing with your mouth open, or not covering your sneeze, or not
Yeah.
using a turn signal. Those like small human basic instincts where you like proper manners person. Those are the ones that just like get under my skin. Cause and my mom wasn't any sort of like knuckle smacker or anything like that. But like anytime I chew with my mouth open, it's like I got scolded 50 times at dinner. And I'm like, you guys should have gotten that.
Yeah, it's like, it's not hard.
Shut your mouth. Yeah. I don't know why. Because it really isn't that bothersome, but I think it's because it was whipped in my brain young of like, have manners. That's what kills me.
I share all of those. So, all right.
Thankfully, I'm not crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just because we're some, that doesn't really help you out on the I'm not crazy.
Be exactly how I want you to be.
Yeah. I'll let you get this drink.
Thank you.
Tell me a secret about Point of Rental or Record360, since you probably have more knowledge about Record360 at this point.
Secret about us.
Yeah. I don't know much about you guys, so.
I want to know a fun secret. It's a secret that I think every company has that nobody ever says is everyone has a least favorite product offering. And we all agree on the same exact one. And it's just because it's unique. It's still a beautifully great product. It's just from our day to day. It's fun. That's probably our biggest secret, is that we all kind of like agree in tandem of this one's the challenging stepchild.
Okay, so there's a specific product, or is it unique to each person? And because it's like, I know within at least Point of Rental, there are certain people that really got started on one particular product and they became a master of a particular product. So obviously that's probably their favorite one.
Right.
And then they have to learn the other ones, and then other people start on different products. Is it like that, or is it just there's one product that you're like, this one's maybe not?
I'd say it's more of like probably like an 80-20. Like similar thing of 20% of like absolute killers. They know this through and through. Again, very great solution, just a little bit challenging sometimes. And I'd probably say an 80-20. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me today, Tucker.
Thank you for having me, Brian.
Thank you also to Andrew Sharrington and Daria Tucker, who help behind the scenes and make this whole thing exist. Thank you for listening out there, and please subscribe, rate, review, share this with a friend. Help me keep interviewing people like Tucker, and we'll keep the porch light burning for you.